Well, hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? What's going on?
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Do you need me to put the headphones in?
No, I don't hear any kind of feedback at all, so this is
Okay.
fine. This is perfect. Okay, thank you. Welcome, everybody. We'll hello, hi, everybody. Let's wave. Say hi to everybody. Hi, me, so cute. Thank you for coming. So to start us off, thank you for everyone for here. We're going to talk about basically what is consignment.
I'm back.
You're
I'm
back?
back. Yeah,
What?
I don't know what happened. Poor connection. We're back.
Oh, okay. The drama. So we're going to talk about consignment, what it means, what can you do. Like, Drew is from the RealReal. He's going to give us a complete rundown. Now, if you've been following me, you've been seeing some major closet cleansing going on. And I'm going to show you what you can do with that. And he's going to educate us on everything having to do with this. So that way there's no any kind of confusion. So especially during this time when you're sort of like, well, I can't leave my house. So we're going to answer all those questions. So I'm going to introduce myself. I am, if you don't know me, I'm Nicole Russo, and I am a private stylist at Let's Get You. And I have this like near decade trajectory of styling people privately and kind of running my way through the luxury fashion world, where Drew and I actually became friends. I met him at Net-a-Porter, and that's where we got connected. We both have since left the company, and Drew is going to tell you where he's been and what his story is.
So I am currently working at the RealReal as a luxury manager. So I do normally an in-home white glove appointment, but clearly that is not capable now. So doing virtual appointments over FaceTime. My background, I was a personal shopper and stylist at Saks and Bloomingdale's, where we met at Net-a-Porter. Even had a little stint at UBS. Yes, the bank UBS. So
we all try new things.
Yeah, we all have to try new things and play with different territories, but now I'm here.
And all right, so everybody be kind to us because this is our first time going live, and I honestly, to be honest, I'm a little nervous. Like,
Yeah.
we're about to get a cocktail.
That's right.
This is actually kind of scary.
My line
this is worse than being naked on Instagram. Okay, but so diving sort of into it, like, why don't you tell us what consignment is and like what does it actually mean? Like, how does reselling work when you're doing consignment?
So consignment isn't the same as thrifting or, you know, going to, I know in high school, going to Goodwill and, you know, really having at it. Consignment in our world is a much more top tier luxury experience. It's all about, you know, sustaining the lifestyle of fashion. So it can be something as simple as somebody may have been photographed, it was a special event, or even on the opposite end, it's a piece of jewelry that you got from an ex. And it's just a way to really sort of use a platform that we reach a global perspective, but, you know, to have a good reach for your product to sell.
Okay, so from my understanding, so what a lot of people think when they hear consignment is they think that like it's kind of like Poshmark, where you put something up and someone buys it and now it's sold and now you make money. But realistically, it's a little different because the RealReal, and I actually did it for the first time this year because he convinced me. But what the RealReal basically does is they basically take your stuff and they borrow it, or what do you call it?
Yeah, we say we take possession of, we don't own it.
Okay.
So yeah, so we take it, usually I would be in the field with you, coming to your home or your office and collecting everything. And then from there, it goes off to the warehouse, where that's where it's professionally photographed. So it doesn't look like Poshmark. It's priced against almost 10 years of information. Obviously, if there's new or current pieces, but we have a really good reach. And then from there, it's on a platform that doesn't have any sort of bartering back and forth. I want this, you give me that. For a price. It represents very much like a storefront. So it's super different than...
You can definitely ask questions and we will definitely address them as we go. So if you have one, please put it in the comment box. We would love to talk to you.
Yeah.
And you can ask us anything about consigning, styling, fashion. We
just
both
don't
have
me, Raphael.
Don't ask me about anything about the quarantine situation. I want to keep this positive and light. We want this to be a fun, like a good thing for you to talk about.
Yeah.
So then what happens is they put it up, and then if it sells, basically, they give you a percentage of the sales as either a store credit or cash in hand, right?
Yeah, so check, but same idea. Yep,
Same
exactly.
idea. Yeah. No one's handing out wads of cash. I
No,
call it
not
direct
anymore.
deposit. And then basically and then it basically sits on the site until it's sold or until you request to have it back, correct?
Yeah, exactly. So it can live on the site for up to a year. We price things usually to sell within 30 to 60 days.
Okay.
And it's really just a super, I don't think I've ever seen anything live on the site that was on a markdown process more than 5-6 months.
Okay. All right. So what right now can someone do? So let's say you've done my closet cleanse. What can someone do if they want to? Actually, let me tell you what I put together. I simplified.
Yeah, why don't you tell me? I feel like you have some tips for me that's going to help my people come together and get a real fabulous consignment and a purge of that space.
Of course. So basically, so one thing the RealReal doesn't do is they do not actually help you clean out your closet. So when they show up to your home or they help you evaluate what pieces you want to get rid of, they're basically going to be a mediator to advising you what you're going to get the most bang for your buck, right? And they're going to eliminate the need to figure out how to sell it, but they're not going to sit there and shuffle through your things and tell you, oh, this works or this doesn't work. But so you kind of have to have that all prepared before you get there. And then, so that what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 3 things that you can do that really simplifies this process. If you're going to do this once a month, every few months, seasonally, you don't have to go through the whole closet. You just want to follow these 3 steps. It's going to make things really easy for you. So the first one you want to do is one of my favorite first steps is you want to take note of what you love. You know what you're wearing. You know what you're not getting rid of. You know what you're sentimentally attached to. Just kind of disregard all those stuff. Either put it aside physically or in your head. Just keep it out of there. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to go through everything that is damaged or needs repair or cleaning, because the RealReal doesn't clean anything, right? They won't clean anything unless it's perfect condition, right?
And another good thing, not even on a consignment perspective or a reselling perspective, but for anybody that's holding on to something, you want to make sure that it's worth repairing. So if it takes a $40 repair for a $40 skirt, it probably isn't worth it unless there's a sentimental tie to it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So once you separate the pieces that need repair or cleaning, you can put them aside and then decide, are they being repaired so you can wear them again? Are they being repaired so you can resell them and they actually get approved to go on site? And then the third step is once you've done those 2 things, then you just want to try everything on. You want to decide if you love it. You want to see if you can make outfits out of it. You might be able to reimagine something that's kind of old, but you haven't tried it on in a while. And you may be like, you know what, this is actually going to be cute for spring or whatever. So rewear it. By the way, if anybody can hear an echo when I'm talking, please tell me, because I hear it and I want to make sure you guys can actually hear what I'm saying.
Maybe it's
so
you against.
Yeah, I hear like so much graininess, and I don't know if that's me or if that's you guys. So anyway, you want to do basically put apart what you love, fix anything that's damaged, anything like that, and then try everything on, decide. Then you put aside your pile, and then Drew is going to help you run it through the RealReal experience. And Howard, tell me how you're doing this like virtually now and what you guys are trying to do.
So the way that we're doing it now is we're doing a virtual appointment, so a FaceTime essentially. I have an email that's sort of drafted up to let you know the best way to process it, basically piles, right? So even when you're cleansing the closet, you have the donate pile, the resell pile, and the keep pile, or the repair pile also. Same thing with us. We have the definitely ready to consign. Maybe I have a question about it for my personal sake, or maybe Andrew doesn't want it at the RealReal.
Okay. So, and then how can they tell me about how they can get it to you? Because obviously right now we're all like not leaving our house. So how would this process look out from a timeline, and like what can they do?
Sure. So it's really quite easy. After we end the call, I create a packing slip. We then, if you're in New York Metro, as Manhattan or Brooklyn, we have a messenger third-party valet service. So there's no interaction with anybody. It's super seamless between you and I on the phone. And then if you have a doorman, leaving it with the doorman, or on the opposite end of it, there's also UPS that we could do. And I'm also offering, if you feel more comfortable because you've already interacted with me, I have a car. It's not like I'm taking public transit. I'm happy to come and pick it up from you.
Okay, cool. I will say that like my experience with it was, well, obviously knowing Drew helped, but it was really simple because I literally right before quarantine happened, I had a pile and I messaged him and I was like, normally I just see him occasionally and I drop off things. And he, within like, 3 hours, someone came, picked it up, and it was gone.
Yep.
I was told that there's a little bit of a delay, obviously, from quarantine processing, but I don't care. Now I don't have I had like 3 big bags like sitting in the backseat of my car, and I was really like, this needs to go.
Yeah, so I mean, there is a little bit of a delay in the warehouse. We're really, I mean, they're working all hands on deck, as many hands as are legally good to have. But it's good to get your things in now, because even if there's a queue of boxes to process or packages to process, yours, when this is all over, is going to be one of the first to sort of pop up when we're back to normal or back to our new normal. And yeah, I would say, a couple weeks, like we were sort of in before everything happened, 2 to 3 weeks. I'd say maybe 4 or 5, just to sort of keep it on the conservative side.
Okay. So, someone actually made a comment before. He said, I have a suggestion. If you could charge a minor repair fee to make the process easier, I have a great Versace leather bag that has a little fray that can easily be repaired, but it's tough with time. I'm assuming he's saying like he himself he doesn't have time to fix it.
Yeah.
So actually, there are bag repair places and leather goods places that will also pick up your stuff. So if you guys want to know about that, you got to let me know, because I have like a resources list. Like it's a little ridiculous. I save it for my clients, but if there's something specific that you guys need, let me know. I'll try to be a support. But there are hacks you can do at home that can definitely make things more resellable.
Yeah.
I think It's also just about mindfulness, like looking at the piece. Sometimes it's really simple about a little zhuzhing, and all of a sudden it will actually sell, because the point of it is a waste of your time, and we want to make sure your time is valuable.
I mean, really, that's a great point. Is I always say, think of how if you were to order something online, knowing it was either consignment, secondhand, it came from not the original destination, that you would want to receive it in the same way that you're presenting it or that you're putting it for sale. So great hacks for me. Think leather used to once be a skin, as much as people don't want to hear that. So to condition it a little bit, like you're moisturizing, can always sort of help. So there's leather wipes out there. There's really good conditioners. Coach makes a great one, actually, because they were known for leather forever ago. Some other hacks I use is, let's say, for instance, think of the inside of a shoe. So the insoles of your shoes, if we want to see any sort of toe prints or anything like that, if you received it, you would probably say, okay, if you bought a $50 pair of Jimmy Choos, but if they were a little bit more cleaned up and presented well, then they may fetch 3-4 times that price. So a hack for that is take a little Tide stick and get a little bit of that solution on the fabric portion. Boom. Baby wipes. Amazing. Even try a little rubbing alcohol on a baby wipe, and it cleans everything up. Looks brand new. White soles of sneakers. I take a cotton swab, a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and it is the most amazing thing. Better than toothbrushes or anything kind of, even some of the stuff that they sell at sneaker stores.
I have found that also it's not really as good for the shoe, but I found that if you use the those Mr. Clean little white things,
yeah, for sure.
Everyone, I mean, it's something that I feel like it kind of creates a little bit of weird residue, which I don't think is probably good for the leather, but we're talking about hacks here. I actually have some questions. So a couple of my people, got into my DMs, and they were asking, in terms of, what if I don't want to have the piece? What if I don't want the piece sold anymore? What if I send you something and I find that the price is too low, and I want to actually make more money, and I feel like, is it negotiable? And what do I do if I want my piece back?
So pricing is not negotiable. We do have experts, so gemologists, horologists, people that are in the handbag world that were at Christie's or Sotheby's or Hermes for years, Chanel for years. And they're pricing everything based on other market value, on the way that we previously sold. But then what's really important is, like I said earlier, it's not, we don't own your piece. We took possession of it. So if you want it back and it hasn't sold, you can ask for it back. It's yours. It's yours until it sells.
And you'll ship it back to me?
Yep. I'll
Okay.
ship it back.
I haven't actually done anything. I've sold everything that's showed up on the site so far. So I'm a little aggressive. I'm just like, if I don't like something, I get rid of it. I ran out of champagne. Okay. So talk to us about trends. Like, how do you guys decide what's hot? Like, how do you guys decide what to take? So how do you know how to make the most money?
So really, from soup to nuts is we take not all product categories, but most product categories. So clearly, you know, handbags, women's, jewelry, watches, but we also take men's, we take kids, we do home and art. So in that sense, we take it all. We have certain designers that fetch better commissions and also better pricing just because of who they are, and you know,
like what?
So our marquee brands are Hermes, Chanel, Vuitton, also Cartier, Rolex, Van Cleef, things that you're never going to find at a discount. Some of it is usually maybe pieces, or let's say, for instance, a watch that's hard to get, or maybe we're stopped production, so now you're trying to sort of find that. So those are brands and pieces outside of even just those couple that are definitely sought after. So they'll price closest to retail, sometimes even more than retail.
So what if I have what if I don't have like a ton of Chanel to resell? Like, what if I'm, you know, mostly what kind of like fetch things for contemporary? I mean, there's
absolutely.
Only
So I always say, like,
bags a girl can like park
that's and it's, you know, it really is. I say, if you can find it in Saks, more than likely we're going to take it. It's mostly like from contemporary brands, Rag and Bone, Alice and Olivia, Men's Theory, things like that. We are always happy to take in as well. Or Ray-Bans, you know, it doesn't have to necessarily be the Gucci sunglasses or the Chanel sunglasses, because we reach and we sell to all over the world. So we have people that may not have access to the brands that we have as a country, or even in their area.
Okay. So talk to me about what's what's trending right now? Like, what's
trending for us for spring, we're seeing definitely trench coats. That's always a spring staple. Burberry, obviously, but then to think about it in different color combinations, maybe it's a sage green leather, or maybe it has an interesting pattern, or maybe it's asymmetrical or something a little different. Sandals, we're hoping that the weather is like today in New York, absolutely gorgeous, and sandals are out, and they're working for us. Crossbody bags. I know we are definitely, but until then, we'll fake it till we make it.
Well, this is why, like, we want to focus on, like, you can focus, you don't have to even focus on, you can save the store credit if you wanted to, or you can, you know, take the cash and put it back into, you know, supporting you through the period of time, if that's the case for you. But I think that, like, a lot of people don't even realize that they can still sort of funnel this process through in a safe, healthy way, like right now, like given the landscape that we're in. It's also, I'm just looking to see, I saw another question before. But also, like, okay, so what are some no's? What are some absolute, like, we're never going to take this? Like, this is not happening. Is there anything that's so old or vintage, or is there an era that, like, it kind of goes past where people are not going to want it?
So definitely we have a savvy shopper that I was talking to, and they know the trendy pieces, or they might be after those vintage pieces that were like a particular decade of Yves Saint Laurent or Christian Dior. For the most part, I would say, you know, no is not a no. There's always like there's always an exception to some rule. So for instance, we don't take Vince or Theory for women. Classics in an overhaul don't necessarily have such a great appeal to our market. as something fun or colorful, trendy, maybe logo, because that's what's really big now. But really just, I would say from a classic perspective, it's going to have less of a resale. But think about how it's going to buy you that space in your closet to have something better. So you might not be able to go out to dinner when this is all done, selling your, you know, your Vince men's shirt, but it's definitely something that we take.
And it's okay. So like, let's just, one thing I would like to touch on in general is like, is reselling and the value that you get when you resell, because a lot of times people pay a certain fee for something, or they put something in their life and they put a certain price point or value on it, and that is not concurrent with the actual cost market right now. Like where something resells is not anywhere near what you pay it. So unless it's a really, my understanding is unless it's like a super hot ticket item, like a Bottega bag or something that everybody wants,
yeah,
you're gonna buy something, and it's kind of like buying a car. You buy a new
exactly.
car, you roll that off the lot, and it is now like it's worth. I mean, you put 17 miles on a new car and it's lost $4,000. And because of how many platforms exist now for people to resell, I mean, it's just, people are not going to get that much money. So like, how do you manage, or how do you want to speak to like when something has value?
So something has value, like obviously I'm respectful of what an emotional value has on something. But also, you know, I've had plenty of consigners they have photos in their wedding dress. Why do they need the wedding dress? And we take wedding dresses. So it can even be to that sort of level. As far as like what is and what isn't, like it depends on what to you is a good value. Did you wear it 10 times and you loved it, and from there you broke out the price per wear, as we say in retail, and are able to figure out like, okay, these pair of jeans I wore 100 times, so it's a 10-cent investment, you know? Whereas you might have a bag that's $4,000, it's not practical, it doesn't work, you can't fit your phone in it, and now it's just sort of room to make money and get something else in there that is more practical.
You can't put your phone in it.
Right.
Wait, okay, so actually, is there a denim brand that actually like we make a lot more money off of these days?
I wouldn't say that denim in itself is pretty flat. I would say most denim ranges on our site like between 50 and maybe 100, depending obviously on the designer. But Rag & Bone and 3x1 and Frame, they're all in that like $50 to $75 price point, which as a consumer is great. So if you want to get rid of it and make that space, going to Buffalo Exchange, you're not going to get that money. And you would get like 40% of that. So on a $50 pair of jeans, it's $20. You're not getting that at Buffalo Exchange or somewhere else.
Yeah, you're probably getting like 12.
Right.
If you're lucky.
Right.
Depending upon
if they take it.
Depending upon their
Right.
mood. They might be like, oh, honey.
We have the opportunity to hold the stock. So even though we might have 500 pairs of dark blue skinny jeans and Buffalo Exchange is only taking a cropped boot cut right now, we're still going to be able to take it because we can host that. So, yeah.
Yes.
Neat.
We've clearly had a rejection at Buffalo. Okay. So,
and by the way, these are only opinions of me. I am an employee of the RealReal. These are not opinions of or thought process of the company. So just so we're clear.
I am the opinions of Let's Get You are my opinions, so okay. I'm bringing it. It's totally fine. Well, okay, so I really appreciate you taking some time and like explaining this. Is there anything that you guys want to know? It's really a great time for you guys to like talk more about like, you know, consignment. I mean, I'm actually a big proponent about consignment. And I'll tell you why. Because so many of us, we want to be these consumers. We want the new. We want to feel good in our new outfits. And some people are not comfortable actually shopping consignment, or used or resell or thrifting. You know, everyone has their boundaries, and I totally get that. But if you are a person who wants to consume a bit, it's nice to take a responsibility on how you get rid of what you have. So if you're not willing to give it away, and you'd be amazed at how you can get money just from reselling even your oldest jeans or your old Prada pants, or And, you know, either you can take that money and use it for something else, or you can donate it. You can do whatever you want, but it's so easy. And I'm not just like, there are places where you have to go and da-da-da, but like, this man will make it easy on you. I promise you,
Yeah.
because listen, I'm a little high maintenance with him because he's my friend, but like, I promise he will offer you the same kind of service. And it is a really good way for you to consciously get rid of things without having to waste any of your time. Especially if you follow my 3 steps. You follow the 3 steps and it's going to be easy and maybe take you 25 minutes max.
On my end.
No, I mean, I
Your
think the
end.
whole process.
Oh, just
I
in
think
general, yeah.
Yeah, I think if you, I mean, for you, it's like virtually, I think probably, yeah, there's a little bit more people have to see. But we have time. But, so do you have anything else you'd like to add? The fabulousness of reselling and the RealReal and why you want to, you know, I know you want to be a support for people in the, you know, and
Sure. I mean, really, this is just, I think, a great opportunity for us to take the time and tackle tasks that we don't necessarily want to do. I cleaned like my roof today just because it was nice out, like to get out to do something. I would have never done that 3 months ago, or let's say a year ago this time. So to sort of take, you know, just real possession of what's important to you. If you walk in your closet and you see 10 pairs of black heels or 20 blue sweaters, you know, you don't need that many. It's a time to really take inventory of your personal life and the people that you love and what's important, and maybe make a little extra cash to support something that you can do together. Or even if it's for, you know, a personal, you know, I made that money back, I'm going to go buy something fabulous. Why not check out the RealReal, because we do have pretty fabulous stuff. So
you could donate it also to something you want to support, or your favorite yoga teacher who's probably out of work right now.
That's also true.
Or, you know, you could use the money. You could use this as a way for you to give back if you really want to as well. Oh, we have a question. Are aspirational luxe brands fetching more money than luxe brands that are not aspirational? I guess he means.
So I would the answer to that would be yes and no. So in emerging designers, there might be, like Regina Poe, or even some streetwear brands that are more emerging. They may not be so known to the public, like, let's say, Gucci, as opposed to, I'm trying to think of somebody that's...
I think that another way to answer it is that it's more about the demand. Like, if something doesn't have a wide distribution, if it's a hot trend of the season, like that banana skirt from Prada from years ago, or the feather shirts from Prada.
Absolutely.
Those things are so I think they are going to resell better. So if you have something that is highly coveted, or even if it's seasons old, it doesn't have to be this season, but it's clearly something that people had a hard time getting. Oh, like Rosie Aslin would probably be a good example. Or also price points that are very hefty that people are sensitive to paying, but they will consider at a slight discount with resale.
Sure. I mean, even just to think about access. Again, I sort of talked to this, like, if you look in Idaho or Iowa, what's the likelihood that you can find Tiffany's or David Yurman? Like, even these are pieces that you might have or we might have in our closets or in our drawers that are just sort of, you know, they're sitting there. We sort of take it for granted. We can pick it up normally at a stone's throw from one store to another. Even like the little Louis Vuitton pochette, you know, something like that. But out in middle America or somewhere maybe they don't have access, even upstate, who knows? Could be something like, oh, instead of $500 for that piece, it's $300. I'm treating myself.
Perfect. Okay. I didn't know Chrissy Teigen used the RealReal. Like,
yeah.
Brittany was like, even yeah, well, girls got to get rid of stuff somehow. I mean,
that's right.
It stresses me out imagining the size of her closet.
Jeffree Star had a YouTube video with us in it. So.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
You guys like resold unused makeup. That'll be the next wave. Watch. I said it here, people. Everyone's going to be alcohol swabbing their lipsticks and calling them unused. Anyway. Yeah. Well, all right, guys. So basically, so how can you connect with Drew? So if you have some stuff you got to get rid of, you're going to probably click over here where his name is. Or you're going to find him at Gucci Drew.
That's right. Well, that's my name or my email address.
Or his email, he'll tell you because I don't have it memorized.
It's andrew.pritchard@therealreal.com.
And it's Pritchard, like
Pritchard.
Yeah.
You got all that?
We got a good question though. So yeah, so did you guys get all that? So if you didn't get it, DM me. I'll hook you up. I got the connect. It's all good. But why aren't celebrity consignments mentioned at the store level?
There's an anonymity to it, so it doesn't really matter who's consigning, what they're consigning. It's really just sort of, you know, if they wanted to do something, we've had it with Jenna Lyons, I believe, had a public sale. But very seldomly, very, 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 very seldomly is there any sort of disclosure like this was so-and-so's piece. She actually promoted it herself on her Instagram. So there was a really, you know, she's super fun and bubbly and like made a comment about it and how they handled the proceeds. So it's you know, it's at their discretion. If they want to promote it, then they can promote it. But a lot of people just sort of want to sit back and have it unknown.
Is there any kind of like amazing piece that you've seen that you just like you were literally like goosebumps? This is
I think definitely one of the coolest pieces was it represented a Lego Karl Lagerfeld and was about 3 feet tall.
It was a piece of art?
It was, yeah, it's like, I'll find it and then I'll let you share it.
It was a piece of art? Okay.
Yeah, but definitely some sort of like art piece. They also had the Fendi bear, which was in our store, which I saw, or a Goyard dog bowl. Just, you know, just interesting, like sort of
ridiculous pieces.
Ridiculous, yeah. Like private jet for dinner to LA type nonsense.
Okay, well, on that note, y'all should follow me too. And if you're interested in learning more about closet cleansing, you can check my highlights. I have a fabulous, like, parter. It'll entertain you all night.
It was very entertaining, I do have to say.
Yes. And it was lovely having you guys. And it was lovely talking to Drew. So to hit him up, let's see what happens. And good luck cleaning your closets. Good luck being quarantined. Keep your spirits up. We will get dressed again.
We will see you soon.
Bye.